Okay, in this lecture, we're going to go into a little more detail on how to copyright your Amazon book description or how to write copy to sell your book. I'm going to give you a very simple list to follow to write an Amazon book description. Okay, so here it is. For nonfiction, I would recommend you open with a problem, usually a question, and then you pile on related problems. Well, if you thought about that problem, what about this problem, this problem? And then you go, hey, there might be a solution to your problem. So you start hinting that there are solutions. And then you say who you are. And this is kind of establishes your credentials. Hi, my name is Brian Jackson. I'm the publisher of well over 100,000 I'm the publisher of well over 100 Kindle ebooks and print-on-demand paperbacks via Amazon, and I'd like to teach you how to self-publish your whatever. So you give them that kind of pitch. And then there's bonus hints. So then you go, not only that, but, and you maybe give them the rest of the course. Maybe this is the point at which you start bulleting the lecture items or the section items that are included in your course. And then don't forget your call to action. You're not going to get anything unless you ask for it. If you want them to subscribe in your course, you say, and don't forget, subscribe or say, and remember, none of this magic is going to happen if you don't subscribe to this course right now. Now, what often works, too, if you can work it out, is you can start saying, hey, and there's going to be an increase in price or something. Basically, establish some urgency to enrolling now. Now, the other thing to do, too, is to add bold, italics, and lists to your description to make it look interesting. And then don't forget that Amazon has a money-back guarantee. Well, if you do fiction, it's pretty much the same thing. Open with your most powerful line. Pile on additional suspense. Hint that there might be problem solutions. Romance, a quest. Who are you? I'm a top-selling author of whatever. Bonus hints. Could there be even more intrigue? And then a call to action. Buy the book. Add bold, italic, and lists, and we're about to talk about what that means, and the good old Amazon money-back guarantee. Okay, one more thing I want to show you before we go to actually a copywriting session is that you can use these HTML tags in your copy that you write to make things bold. That's a B tag. Or strong actually does the same thing, if you've seen that in the past. Italic, the EM tag for emphasis. And then you can indent things using an unordered list. Actually, you're starting a list without having list items. But it turns into an indent. The IN, I think, produces the exact same thing. But here's 3 tags that work while you're writing copy. Now let's go over to Word and start writing some copy. Here I am in the Word editor, and I'm on a blank page, and if you see on home, I have display paragraph symbols and so on, so you're going to see the special symbols, and I'm going to start writing some copy. So the first thing we want to do is ask a question. Something to share with our readers, something like, there we go. So if we're writing something horrific, then this might be a good opening line. Have you ever been too scared to get out of bed at night? What you're doing is you're empathizing with your reader right up front, and you're hitting them with an intriguing question. So all these things are happening all at once. Let's open with that, and I guess we're writing copy for a scary novel, and the next thing you want to do is you want to pile it on. So there we go. Let's hit him with another one. There's no scarier thing than a nightmare that won't stop. Now, I don't know what this story is, but we need to start describing it, so I really should have described a story first. But you notice how this is beginning to grab the reader right up front. So you hit them with a problem. Have you ever been too scared to get out of bed at night? You're asking them a question. So you're saying, this is something I felt. Will you feel it with me too? And then you pile on and you go, there's no scarier thing than a nightmare that won't stop. What about what is under your bed and in your closet? So we ask another question. So we're just piling it on at this point. And then what you want to do probably at this point is give some. This is the way that things happen. In stories, in anything, there's always a beginning where you add some texture and you lay the foundation, and then there's ratcheting up the climax, and then there's resolution. So at this point, what I would do is I would give the readers some resolution. Maybe you say something like, enter here to find the answer. So you're hinting that there might be resolutions to these problems. Now, we want a lot more words. I'm making this very terse just to give you an example so that we can hit the highlights and keep going forward. And what I want to do then is say something about my accomplishments, right? So I'm going to say, read the Runaway bestseller by horror author Brian Jackson. Don't be the one left out in the cold. In other words, you're hinting, don't be the next victim, right? So you want to put together things like this. You want to make the description very interesting. Now, at the same time, if you're writing nonfiction, let's go down a couple lines. And here we'll say something like, one of the things I really like as an opening line, in fact, I might have used it for this course, is, would you like to be a a published author by the end of the day? And then I like ... meaning think a little, for free. This is what you call a zinger that you can add in there at the end. I love this for a non-fiction. And by the way, writing copy for book descriptions is pretty much the same as for Udemy courses. You're doing the same things. Now, or fiction is different. That's what I wrote at the top of this page to nonfiction, which I'm beginning to write down at the bottom of the page. But you're doing the same thing. You're trying to hit them with these zingers in a particular order. Now let's go back and review those now, since you've had some experience with seeing what they look like. So for nonfiction copy, you're going to open it with a problem and then pile the problems on, hint at some solutions, describe who you are, give some bonus hints. What else might you get with this course? What about a free book? Give them some freebies, stuff like that. And then finally, call to action. Click over on the side if you want to be included in this. And use bold and italic and list. We didn't really show you that. I didn't really show you that in the example. Sorry about that. And be sure to conclude with the fact that there's a money-back guarantee. And we have the same thing. So that's a quick overview of how to write copy for both fiction and nonfiction books.